And today we're reacting to the dark life after rappers fall off. Falling off as a rapper gotta be one of the saddest, painful things because, you know, being a rapper is like one of them prideful jobs, you know what I'm saying? One of them ones where you always want to make sure that you the guy on top, not becoming a one-hit wonder, and keep this personality that, and try to keep up with these times that will fade, and you gotta be able to adapt, man. That's why the greatest are still here. That being said, man, make sure you follow to the Twitch or stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, about 5 or 6 p.m., man. Let it.
I'm famous. There's only two ways it can go. Either they go on to cultivate a core audience who will listen no matter what, or they can join the laundry list of other artists who experienced what many would consider a fall off. Whether it's poor first week sales cause your last album flopped, a crowd not chanting a single word to your songs at a concert, or cause you had false allegations pinned against you, a fall off can come in many shapes and sizes. But what happens after the spotlight gets taken from them? Do they lose their mind, start scamming their audience, or
You know who had like a very weird fall off? A very weird fall off. Y'all remember Isaiah Rashad? Gang, if you're not hip to who Isaiah Rashad is, Isaiah Rashad was this like conscious rapper. He was cold back then. You know, back when conscious rap was very prevalent, and you know what I'm saying, it wasn't corny to be a conscious rapper. You feel what I'm saying? Like that he was nice. He was signed to TDE and everything. I don't know if he still is. I don't know. And if you're not hip to how he fell off or whatever, a video came out of this man that has a child, has a son and everything. Like video came. It didn't just come out that he was homosexual. Video came out that he was sucking Johnson. Dang, I forgot I'm not supposed to be cursing. How much did I curse at the beginning of this video, y'all? It's 2 minutes in. I'm gonna have to have my editor go crazy. I forgot I'm not supposed to be cussing. They've been cucking me. But anyway, he was on that, and that led to his disappearance, I believe.
embarrass themselves for views online? Well, the answer is all of the above plus more, and it's tough for people who were once fans of them to watch as it all plays out. It's your boy Luesta, and this is the dark life after rappers fall off. But real quick, let me put you on to something that's actually been
Factor meals. Oh, okay. Damn, I just reminded me something.
head to 50% due to pay the bills. However, there are dangers that come with attempting to have a role like that once your face has been plastered all over TV, especially if you're considering having any sort of customer service job. To demonstrate this, look no further than someone like Young Jock. Back in the day, the southern rap mainstay made some major waves. His breakout track, Going Down, was a massive
Meet me at the mall, it going down. Meet me at the club, it going down. Man, it's a different time back then, boy. Different times, man. Some of y'all couldn't have experienced that. Y'all just not old enough to have experienced that, man.
hit. With both his debut album New Jock City and its 2007 follow-up Hustlenomics peaking at number 3 on the charts. In chasing his dreams, he reached the heights of fame and fortune, but along the way, he got a first-hand look at the darker side of the industry, and that's thanks to his ties with Bad Boy Records.
Dang, I didn't know that.
And Diddy. In fact, he claims he saw some of the most heinous deeds firsthand.
I was watching Puff. Nigga Puff was looking up there. He saw this white woman. It was bottles on bottles around. It was lit. Puff jumped out. Me and Cassie sitting next to each other. My wife right here, Cassie right here. The nigga jumped off the bar, came on and said, yo, Cassie, tomorrow I want you to shave the side of your head. And I was like, what the fuck kind of request is that? So when I'm like, what the fuck? So when I look up there, this white woman's side of her head was shaved, my nigga. So within like 2-3 days, she sent me a picture. I'm like, she done shaved her motherfucking head.
Dang, that's crazy. You know it's crazy too. What? That's crazy. You know it's crazy? That ended up being like a trend for a minute. That right there was a trend. You would see women, or really women. Like you didn't, because I was very young when this was a trend. Like you would see certain women that were like in the space of during this time when certain things they would shave that, another part of their head be regular, like. Yeah, crazy.
As is often the case, he was the forefront of the.
It was like Diddy knew. It's like he was like, no, that's hard. Take that. That's you. You are going to be the face of that. That's you. It's crazy.
For a little while until he wound up as an independent artist. From there, he ventured into the reality TV world with a spell on Love and Hip Hop. But somewhere along the lines, it looked like he fell on enough hard times that it merited him becoming a driver for a rideshare app. And the minute that he was spotted, the public tried to clown the former star over his fall from grace.
I just want to
Ride sharing the Nissan thing too. It's not no issue, bro. It's not no issue. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing to do Uber or ride sharing, doing Uber Eats, nothing. I was there. You feel me? And sometimes you be at the top and you go down to the bottom and you got to restart and figure it out. It is just crazy though to see Young Jock and the Uber and the Nissan Altima, maybe even the Sentra thing.
ask a question. Are you Young Jock? Can you turn around?
I mean, I think y'all put that part together, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, so you must have fell off or something.
What? That's bogus as hell.
I gotta fall off. I just felt like it's an easy way to get some easy money right here downtown. I meet people.
While there were naturally jokes being made, some people felt that he was treated unfairly by being put on blast like that. What is wrong with these people in the car?
That was wrong.
With Young Jock. Can you turn around so I can post your face online? He's a human being. How are they gonna clown Young Jock for driving an Uber, but they need a ride? However, in spite of the internet leaping to his defense, Young Jock claimed that the whole thing was a misunderstanding and that he wasn't truly an Uber driver or anything like that. Apparently, the company he was working for was known as Pull Up and Go, who Jock has since claimed that he has 30% stake in. And to him, it was important to prove that just because you were once a famed rapper, it doesn't mean you're above putting in a day's work. You have to show them what humility is, and that you're
Okay. Alright, hey,
you're not too big to do the right thing by making an honest living. I think that's why a lot of kids and even adults go astray, because they're too ashamed. They're too prideful to do something. The most phenomenal part of this experience from this going viral is the amount of support. In fact, later down the line, he went as far as to claim that the entire thing was a skit to promote the company.
So the dude that was actually in the car talking, he works for Pull Up and Go. The guy who was talking shit, him and the girl works for the company too. So I said, y'all sit in the back seat, I'ma drive, act like I'm driving, you talk shit to me. They was like, are you sure you wanna do this? Cause this could have a really serious backlash. I mean, you don't really think you broke. I said, I don't give a fuck. I said, when they find out what this shit is, how it works, and it's gonna be cheaper.
Oh, I see. This was a I don't think that, cause nothing ever was said about Pull Up and Go. Like, I didn't know that, nothing about this company, none of that until this exact moment. You know what I'm saying?
The goddamn Uber and
so
Lyft,
I don't think that was the
people
best.
Can make more money. I said, how you think I care fucking less? I said, I'll take 30% of $1 billion subscription-based app any day. And we did, and that shit said, boom, that shit went through the roof. I get money.
Okay.
I'm on
Okay, all right.
TV, radio, I still do fucking shows. What are y'all niggas talking about? Like, you should know me better than that. What the fuck would I be doing driving a goddamn Uber? When the people who know me sit back and be like, that was some genius-ass marketing. You was just willing to put yourself in the fire.
But even though he proclaimed that he was an investor rather than your average worker, the response he got spoke to the stigma attached to taking on a regular job after a prosperous rap career. Soon, he was shaded by 42 Doug and Lil Baby on the track We Paid, where he declared, coming out a legend from
Nah. Before I go broke like Jock, he said something that dog like Vic. Oh man.
ATL isn't exactly cool for them to do, particularly because Lil Baby is from his town. But strangely, Jock didn't even catch the diss at first, and was playing it on his radio show without realizing.
Before I go broke like Jock. Which Jock? No, I heard Jock. I said,
You can't be talking about me.
I said, well, goddamn. Then that thing, that shit just went there.
Then you put two and two together, this the niggas in the Chargers.
that shit.
No, I saw it. I saw it.
And even after that, he insisted he felt no ill will about it.
Before I heard the words and all that part, I was just like, this shit, that nigga going. I love that little nigga. And I hear that shit, I was like, oh my God.
That's messed up, man. That's tough, bro.
I saw like, they gonna be 2 years of jail.
Did you know that though?
That's
Nah.
Did you ever meet him after the
I ain't
fact?
never seen him. But you gotta think, here, check this out. Coming
off
off
the radios.
Coming up, yeah, I wouldn't. Man, listen, man.
Yeah, for sure. Coming up off of listening to Young Jock, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you see that clip, and then you rap it, you kind of like, I guess I like how he's looking at it. I like how Young Jock moving, because he's very much so, ain't no ill will behind it. You feel me? And after I saw the clip for a second, it did feel a little bit skit-ish, but I was like, I still thought it was real.
I added the nigga up, man. I don't give a fuck. That's home. I'm gonna hear that shit at home every day.
Whether or not he means it, Jock insists that he no longer wants to rap, and as he approaches his 50s, his mind is on other things.
I do a lot of producing.
Okay.
It's kind of like I'm not as passionate about rapping. So it's not like, bro, I need to just get in here and just do something. I don't.
Right. You still perform your hits for the check, but you ain't going in there saying I'm working on no album, EP, mixtape, no shit like that.
Like, bro, it good, and I don't feel like there's certain like, it's dope that people like Wayne and you know what I'm saying and Snoop Dogg, they like to go in there and they still rap. Like that's what's up. That's cool. I'm not mad at that, but like, I'm definitely not mad at the 44-year-old man that used to rap and had these hits and this is that and the third that don't want to rap no more. The last time I heard a really good song by like one of the OGs, and I know I'm gonna be missing one that I'm thinking about, but like the last one I was like, nah, this is hard, is Jay-Z's verse on Drake's joint. What's that song called? Let me tell y'all right now, cause I be bumping it all the time. I love that song, man. And then Jay-Z came on there, he was rapping, he was really talking. He said, best thing I can do is not build with you when I could destroy you. That takes some fucking discipline. You know what I'm saying? Love all. Drake and Jay-Z. Jay-Z went crazy. That's one of the few recent songs, like last songs that I really can remember where I'm like, man, the old heads went stupid on this. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, they gotta get what you already gave because you're not coming with nothing new.
It's not even necessarily that. It's just like being inspired to do that.
Given everything else he's got going on, it's fair to say the dirt thrown on Jock's name for allegedly doing rideshare gigs didn't stick nearly as much as people expected it to. But for others, they just couldn't beat the allegations. Back in the mid-2000s, Roscoe Dash had some motion.
Roscoe Dash! Roscoe Dash, man, went stupid. I think he's actually about to be on Metro's doing an album that's gonna drop, I think this Friday, where he's getting a lot of the Atlanta natives, and I think he got Roscoe Dash on one of the songs.
No hands alongside Waka Flocka, making him a notable name in the industry. But his solo major label project, 2010's Ready Set Go, failed to make the splash he hoped. And after that, his career was left to flounder due to what he believed to be label drama.
Yo, what really happened? I was in a bad label situation, so I'm gonna say this just to set the record straight. Originally, when I went and did my deal, I did a management deal with Boom Man, right? From MMI at the time. He goes and gets me this deal, or tries to get me this deal with Def Jam. The situation with Travis Porter and whose record it is messed up the deal with Def Jam through Tony Neal.
But you signed the Boom Man on the management.
On the management, but I didn't know it was a 360. See what I'm saying? So he really had me on the management and the artist side, or the recording side too. But I didn't know that at the time. 18 years old. I ain't know. When we get to the next situation with the furnishing company furnishing me the Interscope, he had already sold my contract. I think I was working on Can't Catch the Lambo at this time, or Demolition 2020. He sold my contract to that furnishing company and got out the way, but he had already hit my publishing too. So it just created a bad situation.
Damn. I feel like artists are still getting done the worst way these days, but I feel like just a few decades ago, they were getting smashed. They were getting smashed. Cause this is when you be hearing about a lot of that stuff with people that we were bumping early on, and some of the people now. Like a lot of dudes now, they be independent and stuff like that. Like they're more willing to be independent and rock out like that. You feel me? Or they'll look at them deals and it make they getting a little bit more cheese and they not getting done so dirt. Now they are still getting done dirt. Trust me. You feel me? And rappers not getting that much money. You feel me? But I feel like just a few decades ago, they was flipping and dipping these boys.
For everybody involved.
So he done got the publishing, the deal with the label. So he done already made his money. So he like, here, y'all can have them.
That's why MMI is not MMI no more, because he even fell out with the business partner. See what I'm saying? That's why I changed to Authentic Empire.
What did
that's
you
really
get?
Roscoe Dash money that he went and started that label with. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, yeah. So and that's when the whole trajectory of what he was doing changed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of to the wolves at that point, because I'm with some new people that I just met through a furnishing company. I'm signed to a deal with a major major label. So this is really my shot that I wanted as a kid, dreaming of getting a record deal, but it's tied to some other bullshit too.
And while we didn't hear much about what was occurring with his life, the last thing that people expected was that he would go from number 13 on the charts to being outed online as working for Lyft.
Dang! Yeah, man, that's tough.
Back in 2017, Twitter user @PMPortier called out Dash for a canceled ride, claiming, "I had somewhere to be, so since you inconvenienced me, I'ma expose you're a Lyft driver now."
This is lame as hell. That's lame.
As the public got the usual jokes off about a fallen star, he attempted to downplay it immediately with a lengthy statement. Earlier today, it was brought to my attention that a Twitter user—
Bro, no, this is not worth it, bro.
tweeted out a screenshot from a Lyft fare, which included a picture of myself in a white Tahoe. First things first, yes, that is my vehicle. Yes, that is me in the photo. There is no denying that. Why would I? However, I do not drive Lyft. I own several vehicles, and periodically I lend them to my friends so they are able to make a little extra cash. I consider myself a successful entrepreneur. While talking to any successful businessman, they'll tell you the same thing. Creating multiple streams of income is the key to a long and very lucrative career financially. Billing himself as a successful businessman, Roscoe later doubled down and detailed exactly what was occurring.
He just had to. He was like, nah. His ego, like, nah, bro. Hell nah. I gotta clear this up, and I get it. Especially if I'm not a Lyft driver, you know what I'm saying, and they trying to play with me. Hold on, man. Nah, hold on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be feeling some type of way. But look at my fleet, boy. I got nine cars. Got this hoe. Stop playing.
Probably thinking, does Roscoe drive Lyft? Is this not the same white Tahoe that is circulating all around the internet? Is that not a Lyft sticker on the same Tahoe that is circulating around the internet right now? The answer is yes. Now, this is one of my vehicles. For those of y'all who don't know me, I have children. Can't fit too many kids in a coupe, okay? So this is one of my cars. When I'm not using it, when I'm not traveling, I'm doing whatever I'm doing with it, I allow people, friends, family, whatever, to come and use the car for whatever reasons, whether that be partying, transportation services.
But for all that he tried his utmost to shoot himself some bail, not everyone was buying his explanation. Funny story. I live in Atlanta. I used to work for a cell phone call center and I was going to lunch. I saw him in an alley and it looked like he was cleaning it out. Come to find out, he was a Lyft driver. He had Uber and Lyft stickers on the back of his car. When I looked in his direction, he gave me the deer in the headlights look. He claimed in 2017 that he lends cars out to his friends, but is his face on the app when it says someone is approaching? As harsh as it is, audiences will always have something to say when a former—
It's not that crucial, man. Let the man drive Lyft and Uber Eats and stuff, bro. Jesus.
star falls on hard times. Even if they still work in the arts, but simply take another route, it may still be regarded as a fall off by an audience who want to see you out there flexing as hard as possible as the ultimate marker of success. This is most certainly the case for Rory, an artist who came into the game with
I've heard of this dude, but I'm sure I know a song if I hear it, but I couldn't tell you nothing right now.
Lot of big chatter around his future, but ultimately couldn't deliver on the promise he showed. After making his name on the underground scene with his unique blend of rap that came coupled with influences from other genres, Rory signed to Columbia and was pushed so hard initially that it sparked the industry plant chatter. Along the way, his unorthodox vibe meant that he was quickly compared to literal legends long before he'd proven anything.
I'm sure you hear this and know this and are doing it on purpose, but Andre 3000 sounds like is your...
You hear me talking right now? I'm talking, and I spend large hours of my days alone. I don't believe we share universal space alone. It's the same voice as my normal voice, you get what I'm saying? So it's nothing being done on purpose.
No, it's just part of who you are.
But it's something, yeah, it's a southern drawl, and people see it in my face somewhat, our facial hair, and no matter what I put out, classical music their whole life. Shit, I study Andre,
yeah.
I study, and I'm not ashamed of it. I love it, you know,
bro.
And I own it.
Despite some big singles such as Devil's Whisper, his 2015 debut album ultimately flopped and peaked at number 77 with 5,900 sales. Following that, he endured 3 years in the wilderness before 2018 when he finally got off his label. I want out of the label when the
He endured 3 years in the wilderness.
people who believed in me transitioned jobs to be replaced by strangers who don't know me. Rory explained in detail in a follow-up email. I went to Coachella without any support from the label. It was like they were trying to put me in a position of fear and weakness so I could run out of money and they could control me. I would rather take my career on a path where I can play with my friends, stay with my family, and remain physically, psychologically, and spiritually well. Clearly, Rory was happy to sacrifice the prospect of commercial success in order to enact the vision that he had for his music. And while it likely isn't lucrative, Rory continues to bring his music to the people in numerous ways.
I can appreciate that too, right there, because he doing exactly what it is that he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to do this. I want to be out here. I want to move like this. I don't like this control factor, and I don't need all these extra things. And I can appreciate that. I can never fault a man for moving this way.
For starters, he's leading a nonprofit known as The Woods Worldwide, which is focused on expanding a culture of sustainability, art, healing, and autonomy through creating recurring events such as concerts, jams, keiko ceremonies, yoga sessions, and multimedia productions. As part of this mission, he's been performing in a whole host of unconventional spaces.
Hey TL, come check this out. 7 to midnight, tonight. 10:18, it's throwing a dope performance Among the Ruins. Check it out. I'll be there. Make sure you pull up.
Alongside that, he runs a jam night in ATL, enabling budding musicians to literally perform.
I went to Oklahoma one time, and I was visiting my friend. He went to a university or HBCU. I don't know which one, but it was in the middle of nowhere, gang. I'm talking about the middle of nowhere. And he was like, yeah, we're going to a party. And it was something similar to this, where it was like, where are we? But it was a barn. It was a barn. It was a party in a barn. They had horses in there and everything, playing loud music. Niggas was fighting some mo jump. And the horses was spooked, genuinely. Like, you ever seen a spooked horse before? Don't know if you have. It's a scary sight. You start feeling bad. I almost freed him. But yeah, just wanted to tell y'all that.
Of his own output, he's still prolific when it comes to dropping music. The only problem is that it's reaching an increasingly smaller audience. And while it would be fine if he was content with that, you get the same sense that he still pines for a mainstream comeback, with the multi-talented artist taking to social media to try and hop on TikTok trends. Ultimately, there's no harm in Rory secretly harboring a desire to be at the top of the industry again. After all, it's understandable that he, just like everyone else, wants another shot at glory. At the end of the day, these aspirations don't hurt anyone, and in the process, he seems to be trying to uplift his community. But unfortunately, not everyone takes such a noble route when they venture back into normal life after a run at the top. Because for some of them, the prospect of going
Nah, this nigga sorry is fucked up, bro. Nigga so sorry, bro. I never was a big what's this nigga's name? Namir fan, bro. I never was. That first song, it was alright. I played it a few times. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the one. I don't even remember the name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But ever since I heard that other song, y'all know the one I'm talking about when I say that too, the bad one. I was like, I'm not the type of person to not want nobody to be successful, but I don't want him to be successful after that. That made me that mad. I'm just talking shit, I'm playing.
Back to a 9-to-5 doesn't compute for them. In fact, they decide to use their platform to try and make a quick, dishonest buck from their once loyal fans. For a brief moment, YB and Namir look to have the world in his hands. Alongside Almighty J and Corday.
Facts, and it's crazy, like, every one of them had their own version of successful career. You know, arguably, I would say Corday had probably the most, even though at that moment, I did not even, it was really these two guys that were doing it. But he showed himself, so that's what's up. Even though I've never liked any of these guys' music. I've never been a big Corday fan. I don't really like his songs like that. But hey, that's not to say that he's not good, and I can't see why other people like him. I just don't. It's just not good to me. But he became the most successful out of them. Wasn't that crazy?
His crew, who began linking up on Xbox Live before venturing into the real world, were touring the globe on the strength of the buzz around the collective. But after his comrades left him behind, YB and Namir's career has been a train wreck, or a soul train wreck to be more specific.
Oh, hell no. Bro, I'm scared to put my headphones back on. Bro, I hear the trash without hearing the trash. Why is this nigga talking like that? Bro, it sound like somebody pulling your nuts.
Ever since the track with the historically savage dislike ratio first emerged, Namir has been written off as a laughingstock. And now that no one is checking for him anymore, he's ripping off his own fans by flagrantly refusing to do what he said he would do for them. Since then, he's engaged in fraudulent IG giveaways, reportedly making off with $7K in the process.
So they posted this on their story, blocked me after stealing $7,000 from—
Blocked me after stealing 7 bands. And all he gotta say is, I don't run this account, bro. I don't run my account, bro. I'm just looking into it. So bogus.
Me, YBN Namir, gotta be the brokest rapper out there. He ran off with the money months ago. I decided to reach out one last time yesterday. And this is the DM conversation with them. Supposed to go live in 1 or 2 hours.
Oh, my battery.
I bet about to hit him now. So when we gonna get our money back? Bro, I've been going through real life. I'll get you your money. I don't even check my DMs. I'm not in control of any of that. I don't even know.
I don't care about none of that. I'm not stunting none of that. Anything you got going on, I'm not stunting none of that. I don't care who passed in your. I don't care about none of that, bro. You got me fucked up, bro. For real. I know you kind of gotta chill because that make it easy for somebody to block you and move on. But I don't care about none of your situation. Where's my cheese at, bro? I'm going through real life. Kill life, dude.
What bread you're talking about. I've never been in control of that type.
This is clearly very shady behavior, but thankfully, he's regularly got his comeuppance. Back when Aiden Ross was initially toying with the idea of launching his own boxing promotion, he intended to set up a fight between streamer Annoying TV and formerly prominent rapper YBN Namir. With his buzz long gone and his crew long gone, Aiden offered him $20K to fight on his live stream. Yet when Namir asked for 100 grand to show up,
bro, this nigga's a hoe. Get out of here.
Aiden publicly ridiculed him on stream.
YBN Namir versus Annoying TV, but YBN Namir asked for $100,000, bro. Todd literally laughed at the manager and hung up. You rappers that have not made a hit, no disrespect, stop asking for too much money, bro. You are not getting it, bro. You are not getting that shit, bro. No, stop. Namir, you're not worth $100,000. You fell off. You suck at music. You failed your music career.
On top of that wake-up call from Aiden, Namir has also been trolled on his IG DMs. At times, the results have gone viral, with the screenshots not only unveiling his minuscule feature cost, but how badly he's been rinsed by others. How much for a feature plus promo? I'm Brady. 1K, brother. Let's get it. Sadly, Namir...
Psych. Alright. For a feature promo, I'll give you that for $1,000, man. He said, alright.
Let's get it. Sadly, Namir isn't the only one who's gone down this immoral route. Among the very wave of artists that J. Cole was referring to on 1985, everyone—
Smoke Perp, I wasn't, now again, too, you know, I'm in 2016, I was very much so, you know, in this era of listening to music and bumping. You know, people be saying 2016 one of the greatest years. I could say I agree, right? This is when some good stuff was coming out. I wasn't a big Smoke Perp fan, though. He was a little bit too out of there.
Everyone knows by now how much his shows dried up long after his initial wave withered away. But much like Namir, he didn't let this deter him from trying to get money out of his unwitting audience. At one stage, he was setting up beat battles, which he charged $15 to enter. But according to those involved, it was just an elaborate scam. On his Instagram, he said that he got 650 beats, submissions, and went through all of them in 2 days, 5 hours each day. Even if each beat was 1 minute long, he wouldn't have enough time to listen to all those beats entirely. It should have been handled a bit differently if you're paying money to get it judged. All in all, they didn't organize this very well, and they surely didn't put in the time or effort for this event not to look like a big sham. Edit. I was told a lot of people had mail trackers and their beat wasn't open. Wow, if that doesn't make you think differently of an artist. As if that wasn't enough to permanently sour the public on the Dead Star rapper, he then executed a crypto rug pull as well. Initially, Perp and his manager promised a fair launch, only for them to backpedal and claim they were selling.
So yeah, bro, if you fell for the Smoke Perp coin, says a lot about you, gang.
Only to cover costs, but we're in it for the long haul, and it was time to build. And with that, any last chance there was of him redeeming himself in the eyes of his audience were long gone. Sadly, this behavior is incredibly prevalent among the SoundCloud generation, with many of them who've since flopped, enlisting their massive online followings that they garnered at their height to rinse anyone they can. Among them who have been guilty of
I don't know who the hell this is.
This is Skinny from the 9, a New Jersey rapper best known for tracks like Love Blast and Jump Out That with the late PNB Rock. The artist fell off without ever releasing a mixtape, but because of the audience he'd accrued, he began scamming his fans, hitting a quick lick via
Send me your Cash App, bro. Boom.
a fake promo.
The Cash App coming from 2D7. Okay. Boom. He sent the 200. All right.
And while it probably brought in some money in the short term, it was ultimately counterproductive when you consider that everyone now knew he wasn't to be trusted. And since then, it's only gotten worse as it's become clear that he will assign his cosign to anything. These days, his account is basically the IG equivalent of the classified ads section of a newspaper. While it's definitely not a victimless act, scamming people like this is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes.
Who's falling for that? Who's falling for that? It's gotta be 15-year-olds, bro. So not even 15. Well, maybe 15. I might have, maybe. If somebody else like, yo, I rock with this music, bro. He gonna get me right. Maybe.
To the dangerous paths some artists take after the fame fades. Because for a few of them, life after the spotlight gets so dark that it ends with
my dog
years behind bars. Briefly, Fetty Wap was once ruling the commercial roost.
Bro, Fetty Wap got some, really got bangers, bro. Fetty Wap really got bangers, bro. I rock with Fetty Wap, man.
With an upside potential which seemed to stretch for years to come. With tracks like Trap Queen and 679, Fetty arrived on the charts as though he would never leave.
Right.
But unfortunately, it wasn't built to last. This is something that Fetty essentially saw happening in real time.
I know for a fact I was clearing 100,000 every day. Now, the day I woke up and I only made like 40,000, I'm like, some shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, 40,000, 40,000, 40,000.
100,000 a day.
30,000. Hey, we want to book Fetty for 50,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. This is what time?
This is the end of 2017. And I'm like, all right, it's happening. I'm like, this will shit start getting dark.
Left to fend for himself, those who were close to him say the label basically left him behind the moment that they felt there was nothing more to gain.
Looking on the outside, I hear people hate on Fetty even now, saying things like, oh, he fell off. And it's like, do you mean he fell off as in he doesn't make good music anymore? Because he still makes that quality type of music. But if a record label is no longer pushing you or they got you on the shelf and they pushing somebody else, then that's the reason why you're not hearing him no more. So are you talking about fell off because you don't hear him no more? Or are you talking about fell off because his talent died down? You know, and a lot of people don't understand that when they get the bash and the talking, it's like, what are we talking about here?
That's real. I can appreciate that point of view.
And once the money is dried up, Fetty Wap struggled to adjust his lifestyle. With that, he reportedly started selling drugs and wound up indicted by the feds.
Too much money to be doing that. Like, you know, you get into the day, I guess he's just such a straight nigga that he felt like he had to do this, but he should have put that up. He was getting his songs was going so crazy and too wild for him to be like, all right, niggas still, bro, we still talking about 40,000 a day. He said when that was going to 100,000 to 40,000, like that is a significant drop, 60 racks. But gang, it's still 40,000 a day. Like, okay, we need to make some adjustments. Okay, I need to move like this. I need to do this. I need to do that. You know what I'm saying?
During his trial, his lawyer claimed that the pandemic meant that there were no opportunities to perform. Thus, his income was severely limited. He was sued personally, was going through a divorce, and was involved with a tour manager who was stealing from him. While the bills kept coming in, the money to pay them was running out. When it was all said and done, Fetty was sentenced to 6 years in prison in New York, and is currently serving his sentence at a low-security prison in Sandstone, Minnesota. From #1 albums to incarceration, Fetty's downward trajectory shows just how bad it can get when an artist's career dies out, and they haven't envisioned how to get themselves out of that hole.
I know Fetty Wap the rapper. I don't know no drug dealing, you know, like that. But of course, I see a lot with local rappers, and you know, especially with local rappers. Because once you spend all your money, you got to go back to what you know. I see it more happen with artists that's not at the top, that haven't been to the top. I ain't never really seen it with rappers who are already up there, then go back all the way to the streets, heavy in the game.
However, while many of these artists wind up being cautionary tales, there can be positives that emerge from leaving the rap game behind at the right time.
This nigga, bro, I could genuinely say Trinidad James had one song that I probably ever heard. I don't think I might have heard another one, but this is the only song that I think I've ever that I could ever recognize.
To pursue a new career. Best known for his hit single All Gold Everything, Trinidad James was the epitome of a one-hit wonder. But rather than fade to obscurity, he wound up hosting Full Size Run, a sneaker show on Complex, which pulls in major views on a regular basis. According to James, this essentially happened just because he seized an opportunity.
Was there ever a conscious moment where you were like, I want to become a commentator, I want to become a podcaster, I want to transition, I want to be able to talk on camera, and that is part of my value. I'm not just a music guy.
No, I never think about the next step when it comes to like really thinking it out. I worship things being organic. Like I really look forward to things being organic. The Complex thing, you know, when it really popped up, it just kind of popped up, bro. Like I did this show as a guest, and then my accountant was like, hey, bro, maybe you should go up there and fucking do the show. And I was like, I don't need that money. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about the money. I wasn't thinking like how I need to think, which is like business.
Building something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. This is a new chance for me to come, you know, pitch my brand.
But they don't always have to segue into the media to be regarded as a success. Some of them simply made shrewd business moves. While most of his peers churned to scamming after falling off, Comethazine stuck to the same grind mindset he had back when he was juggling a bunch of jobs before going all in on music.
I used to make pieces and shit. I used to work in the food court in the mall, and I was a mechanic. I was still putting out music, doing everything, going to parties and shit, chilling with motherfuckers. I was just a mechanic, making money, making dough, making way more than other niggas was making, you feel me? Like niggas had jobs, but niggas were mechanics, bro.
Lost in a sea of similar artists, he admitted he was just another SoundCloud era rapper, even though he knew he was capable of more. I actually used to write. I flowed on some Joey Badass type shit, he says.
Yeah.
That shit wasn't going nowhere for me. So I was like, let me do some ignorant shit, see if this shit works. But his whole career wasn't exactly built to last. For starters,
bro, a lot of SoundCloud rap niggas did not make it. But the ones that did, I ain't gonna lie, like, they went stupid, though. Yachty, X, Perk. I mean, not Perk, sorry. Juice WRLD. Who else, y'all? Who else? Not Pump. Now, Pump. But he had some very crazy songs though that I'm sure pay him so much money to this day. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Those are really the big ones right there. I know I'm missing some. But like it's either like if you were a SoundCloud rapper, you fell off bad, or you went absolutely ballistic.
His initial buzz came by accident. His song Bands got mistakenly swapped into the spot where YB and Namir's track was supposed to be, which led to an accidental #1 on SoundCloud. What happened was that an account known as SoundCloud had previously been hosting YB and Namir's viral single Bounce Out With That. After that track accumulated millions of plays and climbed to the top of the charts, the account took advantage of SoundCloud's option to substitute new audio files at any time. So following a quick swap, Comethazine's Bands appeared to have millions of plays and sat atop SoundCloud's chart. However, people started to notice and the song was taken down. After this happy mishap, Walk made him a fully fledged star, resulting in his biggest record ever. But he never truly took to the charts the way that people expected. And besides that, he had a combative relationship with fans, often warring with them in his DMs. Where the features at, bro? Why you do us like that, bro? A whole ass year for a mid-ass album with no features. Nah, you not a fan. I don't do features. Never have, never will, bitch boy. Although treating your fans like that is pretty inadvisable, he maybe felt empowered to do so because he future-proofed his life by buying up subway locations.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
What? I rock with that. For sure. 100%. That's a bet. Cool, man. That's what's up.
Years.
A couple businesses, 35 fat burgers.
35 fat burgers?
Subways. I got a couple Subways already.
For real?
Residual income. Come on now.
Nah, that's fire. Shout out to you.
Come on now, man. I seen so many rappers do this shit for like 2 years and be done with it. What? You feel me? Like, come on now. Gotta be smart with that shit. I still got ice and shit, but like, I got a couple businesses already.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dang, you got 2 Subways already?
Mm-hmm.
That's very impressive.
And while that is definitely a smart strategy, he'll certainly hope his staff are a little more civil to customers than he is to his audience. Comethazine's example is one that more rappers of his era should heed, but he's far from the only rapper to have seen the writing on the wall. Just like Comethazine, New York rapper Mike Geronimo seemed aware that his time in the game was finite. Even though his debut album The Natural suggested there was big things ahead, Mike couldn't ever make the transition to a fully fledged star who could make a real sustainable living off rap. Now, Mike...
Shout out to all the people that was able to see that and be like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna take like heed of this warning, and I'm about to get my junk right now. Let me get some chicks.
Didn't completely turn his back on rap. He kept dropping projects and still intermittently unveils a Lucy today, but that's no longer his focus, as he also dedicates his time to being a business owner after learning a trade. For the past 15 years, Mike has overseen his own company in Embassy Locksmiths, which his LinkedIn claims provides complete licensed and insured locksmith and advanced security products and services, from simple cylinders to card readers, intercoms and buzzers, to video surveillance and safes for both residential and commercial needs. When he initially suggested it, people couldn't comprehend his plan, but you can bet that a lot of his peers who ridiculed him for this plan now wish that they committed the time and energy that he did.
They all thought I was crazy. right. But they couldn't see what I could see. And I always remembered the guy who taught me telling me, he's like, take a look at that lock. Take a look at that door. Ask yourself how many doors are in New York City. How many locksmiths clear a million?
Dang, that's a crazy, wow, that's a crazy way to see that and like think about
dollars before exit. Oh my God. And then to me, that was all I needed.
When you're at the peak of the game, being a rapper is among the best jobs imaginable. But if this video proves anything, it's that it can be fleeting. So if you ever find yourself lucky enough to be making real money from music, make sure to stack some of it or invest it wisely. Because once the hype dies down, things can go left real quick. As always,
yeah, for sure. That's more than true. That being said, y'all let me drop y'all think. Like the video, sub, comment on the channel. I appreciate y'all. Great for y'all, man. We gone.